Monday night live, Tuesday morning for me in Thailand. Excited to be here. I've missed the past couple of scheduled lives because I've just been busy journeying with clients. Had a busy month, and super grateful to all the incredible people that have decided to dive in and go through this process of inner healing and dismantling the belief system, seeing how that works, all the interesting tricks and maneuvers that the ego wants to do simply because it feels like it needs to protect us. And so this is basically a support call, a Q&A. If anybody has any questions, obviously there's so much incredible stuff going on around the planet right now. And the energies are at an all-time high. Yeah. We're all feeling it. And I'm in touch with people all around the globe through this incredible technology that has changed everything. And the main thing, there's only one main invitation right now, and that is to hold our frequency at the highest level that we can. That's it. If we do nothing more than that, we are perfectly playing our role, because the light is already won. The dam is going to break. It's already breaking. You can look around, you can see. We've got amazing people rising up all around the globe in countries. We've got so many things reflected in people's faces that's so obvious that this is just a repeat fear-based program over and over and over and over and over. And fear is a 3D matrix stronghold. That's their number one tool. That's the go-to playbook. They just dress it up to look a little bit differently every single time. But once you see that, and I mean really see it. Hey, Gina, great to see you. Yeah, full moon energies are just zinging. And once you can see the program or the programs, then normally the mind is going to have an opinion about what's going on out there. Now, that opinion, those thoughts, those emotions, or the words that we speak are exactly what is setting our frequency, our vibration, which is within us. And it can expand outward as well. But just for explaining this, we're walking magnets. And when one begins to tune into that every day and make their number one commitment to be aware, where's my frequency right now? Where is my frequency right now? And it's the whole process of awakening. That it's not complicated. It's just that if you're paying attention to the external and you're not surrounded by either nature or art or people that are also focused on doing that, there's a lot of distractions, a lot. And that's how they get people to not be present and to not have their frequency grounded in love, excitement. My favorite frequency. It's the highest frequency that I know of. Love, excitement, generosity, kindness, abundance, giving, compassion. And so this whole journey, rinse and repeat from now until whenever. You can call it ascension. You can just call it your key to freedom, our key to freedom, uniting together. But it's owning our stuff. And it really comes down to, where is your frequency in every moment? So if you've been on my lives before, you've heard me talk about judgment. It's the biggest addiction on the planet. And you can see how the 3D matrix controllers set up all these systems of separation so that everybody will be separated. Republican versus Dem, the fake government. I mean, all this stuff is crumbling. It's great to see, but you've got to be able to see it and unplug. Period. Unplug. Unplug. If you're running any type of fear, you're still plugged into the matrix. If you're feeling fear and you recognize it, that's fine. Don't judge yourself. But if you're feeling fear and you give in, even though you know and your intuition is telling you that it's wrong, you're going against your soul. You're going against your soul mission. And so this is the key. Where is my frequency right now? You're going to feel fears. I feel fears. I feel all kinds of stuff. I don't like labels. So many people would say, well, I'm an empath. I don't know. I know nothing. I do know, if I do know anything, that I know that my belief system or people's belief systems in general are a prison. Yeah. The belief system is a prison. Now, if that triggers you, look at who's getting triggered and why. Oh, because that's what happens. Anything that challenges anything you think or believe, or if you've still got a wound underneath and you get triggered into judgment or reaction, that shows you exactly where the clearing or the healing is being invited to take place. And so it becomes just a game. It's just a game. This whole thing is a game of waking up and remembering. That's all it is. And you either see it or you're going to be, I don't know. For me, I'll just speak for myself personally, trapped in repeating 3D lower vibrational cycles because of what happened to me growing up, but which was all part of my soul contract. So when I figured that out, I'm like, okay, so what's the gift here? I don't like it, but what's the gift? Because I agreed to it on my soul contract. Now, many people might go, I would have never agreed to this. I would have never agreed to, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of pain and suffering. I agree. I'm the first guy that has said that 1,000 times. And I still think that once in a while. And then I feel the frequency of that and I just smile. And I use 3 of my most powerful words for diffusing triggers and programs and stuff. I say, I just felt that. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting is a statement of mastery because it stops the story, the trigger, and the emotion from running, which the ego will just run a story around usually about why they don't like this and why things in the external are triggering you. The external is a mirror. It's a hologram. It's reversed. But many people haven't figured that out. So they're simply in automatic reaction mode over and over and over and over. And the whole waking up in the dream process is about shifting from being an automatic reactor into a conscious observer. And that's the key. And the tools are simple. However, you've got to commit to practicing them and committing to doing the inner healing, which is easy. They make it out to be, when I say they, the dark ones or those that don't want you to heal, they make it out to seem like it's difficult and scary. They give it names like the dark night of the soul. No, it's the doorway into your freedom. And I watch people clear decades of serious abuse and wounds very rapidly every week. And it's not because I'm so great. It's because they're stepping up and they're going, let's do this. Let's do it. I'm done. I'm done recycling through the same triggers and relationships and inner feelings of shame, guilt, lack, anger, not good enough, holding back in fear instead of speaking my truth or doing what I really love because I feel like I'll be judged. Everybody's feeling pretty much the same thing. These were the main programs that were installed, the lower vibrational programs of guilt and shame and judgment and fear. And so the key is to start having fun. Okay. You can actually have fun while you're dismantling the old programs. You can actually have fun while you're healing. You can actually have fun going, I'm pissed. This sucks. And you can laugh about it and smile and go, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And so as all these things are coming up right now, and the intensity seems to be increasing, if you have awareness, you can sit back and go, okay, this kind of sucks. People are being intentionally hurt. They're being intentionally harmed. People are walking around in fear under the most ridiculous circumstances ever. They're wearing a mask when they walk into a restaurant, standing up, but as soon as they sit down, it's safe to take off the mask. You see it. It's like so ridiculous, and almost everybody knows it. And will you be one of the ones that says, no, I will not submit? And I'm not judging anybody for whatever you do, because it's different in every country. I had to wear a mask to go into my bank. I'm in Thailand currently. I had to go into my bank last week. I do my best to do all my stuff online, so I don't have to go in. But I did have to go in for 4 minutes. So I wore it, and I'm polite. And I look around, and I'm just the observer. And I'm like, oh my God, these people have to wear this every single day because their enforcers are being controlled, and they're passing it right on down the line. Well, the only way to break that is to say no. That's it. And so, use discernment, do what you got to do, but notice your frequency when you're doing it. Like, I could have gone into the bank and I could have gone, look at all these dumb, I could have judged everybody, and I could have just let my anger stew the whole time I was in there. And there's times in my life when I've done that full bore, because I didn't realize that I'm a walking magnet, and that every single thought and word and emotion that I'm holding is magnetizing these timelines, the people, the things, the abundance, the events, the magic and synchronicities. And it's not really magic and synchronicities. It's us aligning and being aware and intentionally setting our frequency every single morning and tracking it throughout the day. I set alarms on my phone, 15 to 20 alarms every day. They go off every hour. I have everybody that I take through the Waking Up in the Dream transformational experience do it. Why? Because it creates mastery. It taps you on the shoulder and it goes, psst, where are you right now? Where's your frequency? Are you excited? Are you in fear? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? It's a reset point. And it's one of the most, it's so simple that many people go, oh, that's a good idea. And they won't do it. And I've been one of those. I've heard all kinds of great ideas in my life that I did not implement because the ego does not want to give up control. And so I had to learn that's a great idea. If I don't implement it now, it's likely that I might not. And so I wake up pretty much every night between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. and I love it because I've learned that that's what my body does. And that's when things are very quiet, including my mind. And I get to play in a 0 point without all these distractions. And so I get to lie in bed and I love on my body. I give love to every one of my trillions of cells. Do you do this every day? This is one of the most key things for your health you will ever do. Loving I mean, literally loving on your body. And some people think that's weird. And guys think that's, don't be a pussy, be a man. No, well, guys have more heart attacks than women do. Why? Because they're holding on to, frequencies instead of being in their heart. And like, it's okay to love. It's okay to be playful. It's okay to love on my body. Oh my God. Every one of these cells has loved me unconditionally since I've been in the womb. And they haven't even asked for anything in return, but maybe a little bit of food and water. But they're consciously aware and they're listening to every single thought and word that we speak, and all those 50 to 80,000 thoughts that we're running underneath the surface, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. So it's super, super key to tune into where is my frequency and have frickin' fun with it. The whole key is to get back to being curious, imaginative, and playful like a little child. Every 3D matrix system was designed to steal that from you. The school system teach you what to think instead of how to think, how to do exactly what you love and only what you love. Not to program you to give up 65 of the best years of your life so you can become tired. That's a spell. To mean recycle, tired. Well, you can figure that out. It's a spell. Okay, so you got all these systems, okay? So the key is, don't need to fight the system. You can call it out. But it's like, okay, so what are we going to do? So every morning, I wake up while my head's still on the pillow. I create my day consciously. And I have everybody that I journey with do this. And it completely changes their life in under 30 days. We use other tools from the book and the trainings that go in and dismantle the programs. You start to track the frequency of every thought and every word and every emotion all day long. Now you might say, well, Jeff, how can I do that? I'm busy. I'm at WORK or I'm driving. You teach yourself to feel the frequency of a thought, a word, and an emotion. You don't need to be consciously thinking about it in every moment. You will feel it in your body. Your body will tell you, whether you're driving down the freeway or whether you're at WORK or whatever. I spell that. I don't like to use that word because it's a spell. It's got heavy energy to it. It's a reality of 3D right now. But I pay attention to the words that I use because they have a frequency. Never use try, wish, hope, need, should. They're all weak-ass words. They're spells. What do I mean by that? Hey, Gindo. Hey, brother. Great to see you. What do I mean by that? They're spells. They tell the subconscious that you're not there yet. They also tell your subconscious that you are not in power. I wish it's not here yet. I hope. It's weak. They're weak. And people just run them all day long. The number one word, I want. I want to manifest. I'm trying. No. Your subconscious goes, it's not here yet, guys. Don't worry about it. It's not here. So when you begin to create your day consciously every morning, when your head's still on the pillow, before all those 50 to 80,000 thoughts start running, now you can take some slow, deep breaths, love on your body, get it relaxed, smile. That raises your vibration. What is that doing? That is amplifying your magnetic frequency. Remember, we are walking, talking magnets in every moment, whether we are aware of it or not. And all these timelines out here, which you can think of every one of these dots as anything you've ever thought or anything that you have the desire to create. The fact that you can think it, it already exists. It's not in the future. Everything is here now, 3D, 5D, a million D, whatever the Ds are. I don't know. All I've learned is to trust frequency and vibration, and I've narrowed it down to how to go in and heal and clear anything that's getting in the way of that that's underneath the surface, and then dismantle the belief system because it's a prison. We're in nursery school. Anybody that says they know a lot, they don't. I mean, I meet a lot of smart people. The smartest people know that they really know nothing, but they know enough to question everything and to dismantle their belief system. Because when my teacher, well, everybody's my teacher, but I had a mentor named Don Miguel Ruiz who wrote the 4 Agreements and the Mastery of Love. And he lived in San Diego, and I became an apprentice and I became his recording engineer. And I got to hear him talk for 10 years, and 3-day weekends where we just lock into a building and just go over fears and doubts and what your story is and what happened to you. And, I would just watch this stuff. And it was very valuable because you could see that there's not like thousands of programs or wounds. There's really only a few. People tell a different story about them, but the tools work in clearing all of this stuff. And so again, we are walking, talking magnets. If anybody has any questions, feel free to pop them in. This is a Q&A. And what it does is, it doesn't mean that I'm going to have the answer. It just opens things up because there's a lot of people that watch these. There's a lot of people that are in the background, and some of this stuff might be new to them. So when somebody has the vulnerability or the authenticity, hey, Lisa, great to see you. It was Lisa's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa's a great person to connect with. She just completed going through the course, and she is a rock star. Yeah, an amazing, amazing being that really stepped in and just completely shifted. I'd love to get her on one of these lives, and she told me that she's willing to do it, so we'll have her on. If you want to come on, Lisa, send me a message and I'll send you a link, an invite. That would be my first invite ever. That would be cool. But if you're not up to it right now, that's okay too. But Lisa's a great person to connect with because she lives in Australia. There's a lot of darkness and fear-based programming going on right there right now. And she's really holding a wonderful frequency for everybody. And so my hat's off to anybody that's doing that, anybody that's vulnerable. Hey, Heather, great to see you. It's not about being perfect or having it all together. That's a trap of the ego. There's endless levels of conscious awareness. Endless. The key is to get playful. Get playful. That's it. And align with people that are willing to be vulnerable and honest. Okay. Lisa says, I'm blushing. Yeah, you should be. I love you. If you want to come on, tell me in here and I'll send you an invite and we can just talk about your journey. It's good because people hear me talk and they're like, whatever. But, if they hear it from somebody that really just went through the process, it's really, really valuable. So if you want to do it, great. And if not, happy birthday to you. Okay, so here's a great question. And I kind of cover this every time, but how do I stop negative thoughts? You commit to catching every single negative thought and asking, what is this trying to show me about energies or wounds that I'm still holding? The whole process in the book takes you through it step by step. I go through this pretty much in all of my videos. I've got a digital course. I'm not trying to sell you something. Anybody that knows me knows that I come on here. I don't hold back on the tools. I tell you how to do it. You keep track. I have people go out and get a number counter. Seriously. Like when somebody goes on a 30-day journey with me, it's full on. But it's easy and it's fun. It's not like, I got to work, so I can't do it. No, you do it while you're at work. You just keep track. You keep track and you make it your number one goal, because most people don't do that. What do? They have a judgment and then they defend it. Why? Because they have an emotional reaction. So they feel that they're right. No, having an emotional reaction doesn't mean you're right. It simply means you just had an emotional reaction. This is how the 3D matrix has people looping over and over and over and over. And they know how to play the puppet strings and the television and the media and the religion and the school system perfectly. So you've got to be able to see it and go, okay. So negative thoughts, making a commitment that I will catch every judgment, and I will learn to feel the frequency. Like, what does a judgment feel like? Every time you go, I don't like, or I hate, or that, learn to feel that frequency. If you don't think you can, I'm here to tell you that you can, because I'm doing it every day. And I was a frickin' judge-aholic. I was taught to be in Catholic school. I was wearing a little bow tie and a little checkerboard uniform every day. And it was all fear, all judgment, all the time, every day. Every day was judgment day. And then I was an altar boy in church. And everybody's got their story of what happened to them, because this is part of the soul contract. This was my training. Because in second grade, I'm like, what, 7? I don't know. And I don't know anything about conscious awareness or programs or waking up or nothing. But my built-in intuition told me something is very wrong here. And I knew that in second grade. So stopping negative thoughts. Judgment is the biggest addiction on the planet. Just look around and ask yourself if you still judge anybody. And if you are, then the next step is to go through this process. Because as long as you're judging, you're going to keep looping in 3D. That's all there is to it. Why? And don't get mad at me, because I didn't make it up. I had to dig out of this shit myself, but now I play with it instead of getting angry. And once in a while I'll get pissed, and then I'll go, oh, isn't that interesting? You must have been holding some energy. Because it takes a lot to trigger me these days. And it's super, super key. Thank you, Heather. How wonderful. I love you guys. See, when you share with other people, they don't feel like they're alone, okay? And they don't got to listen to Jeff all day long. Who is this guy talking about all this 3D, 5D, frickin' whatever, I think most people that come on here resonate with what I'm sharing. And, you've heard me say it before, and if not, I'll say it again. I'm just talking to myself. I'm just talking to Jeff. I don't even know if there is anybody out there. My teacher told me, one of the really powerful things he told me is Jeff, everyone is you. Everyone is you. There are no others. And of course, my mind was going, I don't know how to process that. My ego can't be in control if that's the case. That does not compute, And so, it's about having fun. It's about having fun. It's super, super key. And if you want to go through the process, there's a half price book link. Or if you want to give somebody a gift that's really inexpensive but priceless, there's that. And then I take people on the 30-day journey, but I'm only doing 4 or 5 people a month because we're in it. We go back and forth. Some people, we go back and forth every day on Messenger with voice messages, but we do a call every week that's long and it's recorded. And we go in and we dismantle the story and the wounds and the beliefs and the pain. But we have fun doing it. And it's the most powerful process that I know of. And there's no way around it. Everybody must do this if they're going to heal and step out of 3D. But it's fun. and you'd go through the steps. It's freaking easy. It's just that if you're not aware of the steps, then the automatics just keep running every day. This will be taught in school very soon. The old school system is crumbling. It is a diabolical system of stealing children's souls, literally. I mean, well, maybe they're not stealing their soul, but they're taking them out of their soul journey, their passion, their imagination, what they really came here to do. And, for a long time, it's taken 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years to figure out and clear all that stuff. Well, now kids are coming in switched on, and it's time. So these are the tools, and I'm rewriting the book, Waking Up in the Dream, for children, because they must learn this at the earliest age. What an emotional trigger is, what a judgment is, what the belief system is, and just dismantle it. Don't even have one. It's a prison. Now, if you believe that love is the answer in every case and that, I am a sovereign, divine, unlimited being, bingo. Those are the only two beliefs that I really kept. Yours may be different. But the rest of the belief system is a full-on prison to keep the ego feeling safe and in control. And there is no control. When you can let go of that and just go, man, let's get on that roller coaster and ride it again. Because I know I'm safe. I know even if I were to die, I don't die. This is how people have been so scared into giving up their life force and playing it safe and thinking if I just have the house and the car and a little bit of money in the bank, then that's living. That's not living. That's an enslavement system. Completely. And so this is all being exposed right now. So, all right, let's see what Lisa has to say, because it doesn't look like she said, yeah, send me a link. I'm coming on. The more one becomes aware of negative thoughts, the easier you become nothing. You just become tuned in. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You have to just make it a commitment and use the tools. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, totally exciting. We came here for this. The dam is about to break. You see it. The dark ones are scurrying. They're ramping up the fear. And yeah, it's getting intense. So let's talk about that for a second. Just because if you're going to be awake, thank you so much. Thank you, Anne. I really received that in the heart, because I don't know who's watching. I can't put that much thought into it. Otherwise, I'll lose my whole train of thought and everything. I'm just holding the frequency. And when I come on to do this, I've got to go, okay, are you ready? And I'm going, no. What are you going to say? I don't know. I always seem to say the same thing over and over and over. Well, what's your working title? I don't know. Okay, how about your number one key through navigating? Okay. And then I just go. But if I think about it, I'll fall. So the key is to just be in my heart, to be in my heart. And so, okay, so here's a question. I'm going to be really careful about this, because this triggers everybody, because everybody's enslaved right now. The entire world, the entire globe was enslaved into fear and wearing face diapers, which don't work. They don't stop anything at all. Well, what about spit? No, let's get real, okay? You see this? It's called your eyeball. There's liquid in there. Any virus can come into your eye at any time. That's just one example. Okay, what about COVID? What happened to the common cold and the flu? What happened to them? They magically disappeared. Anybody that even thinks about COVID is running fear, and the dark ones win. Now, if you're concerned, then do whatever it is. But if you're in fear about it, you lose, period. Because, and I'm not talking to you. God bless you, Denise. I love your profile picture. I love your energy. Remember, every one of our trillions of cells is consciously aware, and it's taking instructions from every single thought, every single word, and every single emotion that we have. I will not go into fear around. I've seen this playbook a million times. I don't know why I can see things other people can't see. I'm not psychic. It's just, I'm just baffled. There is so much information out there that debunks everything. It's such a lie. It's such a lie. There's not one single person on the earth that I've seen that could prove who said, oh, I had COVID. It's almost like a badge of honor now. Oh, I had COVID. That's brainwashing to the 1/1,000,000th degree. And so the bottom line is, whether my answer triggers anybody, the bottom line is you have an immune system. It was given to you by the Creator. He did not mess up. And if you're in fear, and if you want to do common sense, well, I'll just stay inside. I'm worried about shedding now. Every next thing is going to be one next thing to keep you in fear. If you can't see that program, then you're enslaved, period. There's no nice way to say that the globe has been enslaved simply through fear. If you're worrying, you're stuck in 3D, period, period, period. If you're aware and you're making a conscious decision, but you're walking around going, isn't that interesting? And you're holding your frequency, that's where you want to be. Because right now, the advertisements and the push for everybody that's all they got left. That's it. They know the light has won. In my circles, it's been clear for a long, long time. But people must be forced into waking up. Some are going to, some aren't. Some are unfortunately going to be leaving the planet within the next 2 to 3 years because they submitted to the fear. And my heart goes out to them. It hurts badly. I've got people that are very, very close to me, including my mom, who went and got both vaccines. And that makes me want to explode. But I feel that, and explode is exactly where they would want me to be, because that's a 3D. So I'm like, okay, I love you, Mom, so much. It's not going to do me any good to tell her, well, now you got all this point, No. If they did it, I love them. I love everybody. I love everybody. And I run that mantra all day long. It's not because I'm so great. I didn't even used to love myself. That was part of my learning. That was part of my soul's journey. So yeah. Hi, Maria. I was just in touch with your honey. He sent me some type of accidental join our group in Messenger the other day, Hans. Yep. Haven't got sick. Yep. 3 times, high risk areas, nothing happened. I love you. Thank you. The mind is the most powerful, powerful thing. You're welcome, Denise. I intend that, I'm passionate, but I'm doing my best to navigate through it, and just let's go to frequency. Let's go to frequency. I'm not here to battle. Anybody that knows me knows I've shown so many videos debunking the whole COVID thing and why they did it. Bill Gates, he's been telling people for 20 years, I want to remove millions of people from the planet. He got away with it with all the children in Africa and everything else. He's created all these societies that are supposed to help people. It's the most diabolical thing on the planet, and he's been dealt with. No matter what you see popping up, trust me, he's been dealt with. And there will be no mercy for those people. And that's not my judgment. It's just, you cannot harm and feed off of and harvest children and other people's energy doing satanic rituals because you think you're above them. You cannot do that. And so, this is all going to be revealed. And some will go, that's so horrible. And some will go, you guys are conspiracy. That's okay. Whatever. Where's my frequency right now? Align with the people that, and be aware of what you're focusing on. Being aware of what's going on is one thing. Talking about it all the time, like these people, no, that's going to lower your frequency. It takes an aware person to be able to operate in 5D or beyond. Just as an example, I don't know. All the Ds are right here. There's nothing, I use my hands a lot, but 5D sounds like it's above, but it's not. It's just a higher frequency. It's the heart frequency. There is no judgment. There is no shame. There is no guilt. There is no anger. There is no hatred. The lowest frequency. It doesn't exist in 5D and beyond. So it's real easy when you understand that we are walking, talking, vibrating magnets. And when you put in a system and commit, if you're like, okay, things aren't going that great in my life. I don't like my job. I'm having money issues right now. That was me my whole life. I grew up around lack and stories of lack, totally. And it wasn't until I really went in and dug into that program that I was able to clear it by actually giving away money, tipping double if I didn't even think the waitress did very good. Because my judge wanted to come in. It was a 3D program. Well, what's 10%? But she was late with the fries. No. I don't know that she's got 4 kids at home. She's working 3 jobs and her dog just died. No. I watch Jeff. I don't use other people in the external to be my excuse for why I'm judging or why I'm thinking stupid shit. I feel the frequency. It's all Jeff. Nobody's doing anything to me. Yeah, you got some dark ones out there doing some stuff, part of the collective. But the only thing is, where is your frequency? There's no excuses. There's awareness. Yeah, I'm not getting a vax, a PCR test that has more gelins on them. Have you seen that? They're alive nanobots that are on the end of the Q-tip. It's been proven. This is not a theory. I'm a conspiracy factualist. I don't share it unless I can back it up because there's a lot of that going on. I'm not here to instill fear into anybody. I'm here to empower those that came here to create this magnificent shift that we are creating right now. And I don't say that with an ego. I didn't know why I was here for the longest time. I still know nothing. I just follow frequency. I just keep coming back to it. Yeah, here we go. It's okay. You haven't really lost anything. That's just, there's no such thing as time. It's just another program to observe and to go, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that if I have a difference of opinion and I deliver it very kindly as an invitation, anytime we judge somebody, they're going to put up their guard because you can feel the energy of a judgment. It's low vibrational, it's toxic. So if you're in any relationship or any conversation with anybody, and you want to get them to see your point of view, it has to be done as a kind, loving, soft, non-judgmental, safe invitation. There's no other way because frequency doesn't lie and everybody can feel it. So yeah, I have to block people once in a while and it doesn't feel good because I know that separation. But I've learned one thing. I protect my frequency. And anything less than love is not acceptable in my field. I journey with people that have been through hell, that have had horrible things happen to them when they were a child, like me too. I mean, it's and the bigger the trauma, the more empowered the person ends up being, is my experience. If someone raises their voice at me, I say, You seem to be triggered about that. And I just hold my frequency because I'm the observer. I know what's going on with them. I've dismantled that in myself through this process. And so this is a great question, because this is where you decide if you're going to have somebody be in your field or your circle of friends or relationship or whatever. If somebody gets triggered, I gently mirror them. And when I do it gently, see, usually if somebody raises their voice at somebody, they get into a trigger fest, and then the other person raises their voice, and now you've got an amplified 3D vibration, low vibrational shitstorm going on. Now, if you can hold your frequency and be the observer and go, I can see that you're triggered about that. Now they're going to do one of two things usually. They're either going to justify it, yeah, rah, 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 in which case I unplug. See ya. Or they go, yeah, I'm triggered. Now, if they want to learn and they want to go in and dismantle that, I have the ability to do that very quickly with people because I've been doing it for over 20 years. I'm trained in that. I've studied it. I made it a priority. You don't have to spend 20 years doing it because the process in the book is step by step. It's boom, boom, boom. 30 days or less, you are seeing the programs like that. And once you can see a program, you'll never let it run again. It might come in once or twice, but when you set your commitment to clearing anything and everything that may be keeping you stuck, you use those tools and you go in and do it. It works. I've never seen it not work for anybody unless they didn't commit to it and they wanted to use everybody out there as the excuse for why they couldn't be happy. That's called victim mentality. It's simply a wound, and all it requires is the willingness to show up and own our own stuff and stop making other people the excuse. Now, this can be tough if somebody has had a heavy traumatic wound. I journey with people that have been raped, molested, people have been murdered in their family, heavy stuff. Okay? It's happened to me. I know how to move through it. And it requires delicacy, but it must be done to free that person. Because anybody that's gone through that has some massive gifts to share with the world, or they wouldn't have chosen that on their soul's contract or journey. Yeah. Let me look at this one. Linda. Hey, Linda. My granddaughter is always loud. And for me, it just means she's happy or angry. Yeah, there doesn't even need to be a story about it. But she gets really loud at times. I have to let her know. And yeah. And you can get playful with her and ask her, what are you feeling right now? You know? Because here's the bottom line, people. Anger, judgment, resentment, those are all going to keep people stuck. That's why the external is fueling more fear, more judgment, more doubt, more shame. Oh, you don't look like a supermodel? You need to buy this. I mean, you see it everywhere. The television, it's the biggest programming dark agenda ever. And it just trickles down through the governments and the television and the media. So, the bottom line is, where is your frequency right now? Where is it? Are you happy? Are you excited? Or are you a little bit, there's a little bit of fear. I'm not sure, we're locked down. Yesterday, I just got the notice. I'm in Thailand, by the way, northern Thailand. And I live at a yoga retreat center where we take people on journeys and we do sound healings and plant medicine and, really healthy food and drinks and yoga and, music, ceremonies, and all kinds of wonderful things. But I'm out riding in the country. I love to go out on all these roads and get lost on my scooter and look at all the plant life. It's incredible here. But anyway, I come back and somebody said, you you're not wearing a mask today. I said, you know me, I don't wear a mask. They said, well, they just said on television in Thailand, if you caught not wearing a mask for the next 2 weeks, you'll get a $750 fine. And I'm like, that triggered me a little bit, because I'm like, okay, they're squeezing down, squeezing down, squeezing down, squeezing down. So I'm like, okay, so how do I deal with that? Do I get pissed? I was pissed for a couple minutes, and I just know that's not the frequency to hold. Clear it. So I clear it. I go, okay, so how am I going to take advantage of this next 2 weeks, if it is 2 weeks? So I've already created that. I'm going to lock in, not lock down. I'm going to lock in on my commitment to doing lives, to connecting with the people around the world that I connect with every day, to creating more music, to doing sound healings, frequencies, and whatever they throw at me, I'm going to turn it around and turn it into a gift and a plus. Because previously in my life, I would have been pissed off for 2 weeks talking. I'd just be stewing in it, because I didn't realize that I'm a magnet, and whatever frequency I'm holding is attracting more of those same people, frequencies, timelines, lack, anger. Every time we have a judgment, we're attracting more of what we judge. People don't realize that, because most don't realize that the hologram, the external that we see, is actually flipped 180 degrees. You've got to be able to see this. You've got to be able to see it, or they got you. So I intend that you find this valuable in some way. For me, conscious awareness is the only game in town. I mean, it just is. It's so clear. It's crystal clear. And that's why the current 3D matrix is set up to distract you 24/7. Yeah. And this says ding. I love it. That's my little Tibetan bell that I love when you got to see through the fear. You've got to see through it by feeling it. And when you feel it, you stop. And I teach this to everybody. You stop. You take a breath. If you use the powerful statement, isn't that interesting? That'll stop the ego from running the story of, yeah, they're this and that, and then all the ladies at the hairdresser. This is not a bag on women. Men are just as bad. I'm a huge supporter of the feminine divine. But, in the hair salon, my husband does this, and then the other person goes, yeah, and mine, and it's just it's a dumping fest of low vibrational energy. It's a cesspool. And they think they're feeling better about doing it, and they are moving energy, but they're actually just giving it fuel. Okay? So the process is catch a trigger or a judgment or a thought of shame, any low vibrational frequency, and go, okay, there's one. Isn't that interesting? And take a couple of breaths. Drop down into your heart. The heart is where you get clarity. The mind isn't the place. The mind is for like balancing your checkbook or whatever in this fake money system. I had to throw that in. But yeah, drop into your heart and go to what I call 0 point. 0 point is where nothing's running. You're just clear. And the way to get clear is to take a few breaths. Just feel into that. Whoops, I got a bad cord here. Take a few breaths. I like to close my eyes and smile. Why do I smile? Because it amplifies my frequency. And every cell in my body knows that every time I go into doing this, because I do it every single morning, and I do it throughout the day when my alarms go off, and they know what's coming. They know that I'm magnetizing more of that of which I desire. And I never see it in the future anymore. It's already right here. It's pulled in. Boom. Like me slamming down the final little piece of a railroad spike, going in and securing that track. Boom. It is done. It is here now. And so it's so key. Just rinse and repeat and get playful and hang out with people that are doing this. you know? And I'm so thankful for all of your energy and you guys that come on and share this stuff, because this is why I do it. I mean, number one, I do it because I do receive messages from people and they say, you know, you don't even know me, but you've helped shift my world. And I'm like, wow, what an honor. What an honor. Because I used to be the guy that was sitting in my garage suicidal 30 years ago with a gun to my head going, I'm out. I didn't choose to come here. There's got to be more than pain and suffering. Just practice being in a meditative state all day. I mean, I have people spend a half hour to an hour every single morning because I know that the other 18 hours of their day, the programs are running. And we just slowly, over 3 or 4 weeks, we just completely shift that so that you're just actually a walking meditator. You don't need to sit down and light incense and, I can't have any thoughts. I can't have any thoughts. No, 0 point is great because that's the point where you anchor in the new timeline, the new thought, by smiling and feeling, seeing it's already here now. The clients are here. I'm traveling the world. I'm playing at huge festivals, music, magic and miracles, the abundance coming in. I'm giving it away. It's going out. I'm connecting with the wild jungle dogs, all the animals. Everything is here to gift me. I just have to have the awareness to see that. So go easy on yourself. The word need is a judgmental word. It's if you really break it down, it's one of my words that I never use because you can feel the frequency of it when you say it. I need means I haven't done it yet. And it tells your subconscious you're not doing it. So the subconscious goes, hey, guess what we're not doing more of? Whatever it is that you say you need to do. So you say, I intend, I am doing it. Even if you're not doing it in this moment, I intend, I'm doing it. From this moment forward, I'm doing it. Done deal. And yeah, if you slip and you don't do it, then notice it and come back and do it. Because I'll tell you what, the people that consciously create their day and go through this journey with me, they're never the same, ever. Never. You can't be. Because once you see the program and you dismantle it, it has no power over you ever again. You might fall back, you might get a trigger, but you'll feel it and you'll go, okay, what's the process? And you just clear it. And there's no more, I'm having a bad day. No, you know what people are doing when they say I'm having a bad day? 9 times out of 10, they had one triggered moment, they reacted, and then the story ran all day long and they didn't know how to stop it. And some people have a bad day or a bad moment and they turn that into a bad decade or a bad lifetime. And then when their twin brother is lying on his deathbed and they finally go to see him after 40 years, neither one of them can remember why they were pissed off. But the program and the energy that didn't get cleared of that initial reaction was running the whole time. And it could have been cleared with these tools like that. So, yeah. So anyway, are you excited? Do you see what's happening? Do you see why a lot of this has to play out? I'm not going to go into like what's happening behind the scenes that I am very confident above, but the patriots are in control. The good guys are in control. We may have galactic help. I don't know. I don't have galactics talk to me. I don't even have ascended masters talk to me. I've talked to Saint Germain. I'm like, hey, G, what's up? Let's do it. I've read his books 20 years ago. Purple's my favorite color. He hasn't knowingly ever said anything to me. People say my guides tell me this, that. Nobody tells me anything that I know of. And it's a wonderful thing. At first, it used to piss me off. All these other people are like, yeah, my guides tell me this and that. And I'm like, why aren't my guides telling me anything? Well, I started to notice that these people that post these posts and they say that it's coming from guides, they've got these big followings, yet they can't prove anything that they're saying. And by them saying that they've got all these guides, they don't have to have any accountability. It's very interesting. I'm not saying that there aren't any good ones out there. I'm just saying what it forced me to do was to go within and be my own guide and not give my power away to anything outside of myself like religion does to everybody. So it forced me to be my own guide. So what do? I track my frequency. What is the frequency? Yeah, Lisa's in the house. Excited, yeah. Yep. When you understand that you are a walking, talking, vibrating magnet, you will then understand that you are sabotaging yourself anytime that you are not finding the gift in the situation. And there is always a gift. Now, that might trigger somebody if they got, let's just be real here, sexually abused or whatever. Okay? I'm not that shallow where I'm just going to say that's a gift, but it was part of the soul contract. So, if we're infinite divine beings, which I personally believe that we are, then we've lived thousands, if not millions of lifetimes. So the chances are we've probably been the murderer, the beggar, the thief, the deceiver, you know. I've been an asshole a lot of times in my life growing up. I was an automatic reactor. I was taught to be. Now I'm committed to being a conscious observer in every single moment. And my life is 1,000,000% different. Not because I'm so great, because I committed to practicing the tools. Yeah. That's all there is. That's it, you know? Intuition, it never lies. That's why they want kids to not have it. That's why the school system is set up to steal it. So yeah, we're rocking this dream, and the dam is about to break, and you can see it cracking everywhere. You know, there's more people that are aware that know they've been bamboozled. They're just still in fear, and they don't want to be judged, so they're choosing fear over speaking their truth, because the 3D system is set up to persecute and judge. Look at Jim Caviezel. He came out for Operation Underground Railroad, which, if you don't know, Tim Ballard is rescuing all of the children that are being harvested and sacrificed for adrenochrome. And many people don't even want to admit that. They think I'm crazy. Well, the wake-up call is coming, and it's necessary, because this is how all the people in power have been either given the position of power in high level of governments, or they've been blackmailed into doing what they've been doing, which is deceiving the people. So it's coming. And you can even be excited about it, because we're standing up for the children. So anyway, Jim Caviezel, he comes out and he talks about adrenochrome, and it gets on the news. You know, it's drip, drip, drip. I think the Patriots are in control of the news now too, but they still have to wake the people up. So it's very interesting. It's the greatest movie ever, and it's fascinating. But what did they do to Jim Caviezel? The same thing they did to Donald Trump, who's the only one that talked about adrenochrome in the children. They absolutely crucified him in the media. Go into Gaggle and type in Jim Caviezel, the new movie. They're crucifying him with everything they've got. Why? Because that's what they're hiding. That's their biggest, most diabolical secret, is that they have put themselves above other people, and they've been sacrificing the purest energy on the planet, which is our children. Yeah. And the psychological damage of these kids having to wear a mask and stand on a little square in the schoolroom is going to have a lifetime of repercussions on them. I would never send my child to school. Never. That's just me. School is being out in nature. School is learning for yourself. School is learning on your own. There's plenty of tools now. The whole world is connected. And so if I could leave anybody with anything, it's get excited. Get excited. Let's raise our frequency. Let's kick some ass. The light is already won. We've done it. So thank you, everybody that comes on here, that shares these with anybody that you think would benefit, that shares the books as a gift, people that come and journey. I've got 3 spots that will open in May. So in about 3 more days, I'll have 3 spots that open up for the 30-day journey. If you're interested in that, follow that scrolling link down there. It tells you everything that we do, everything that's included. And you get everything I can bring at you for 30 days. And I do it lovingly. It's fun. Thank you, Linda, so much. And so, yeah. So before we go, let's ramp up. Whoops. Let's ramp up our vibration really quick. I have this flute that I love. So let's take all this energy of 15 people that are still on this call. Hey, Davia, great to see you. Davia just went through the course. She's an incredible person to connect with. Thank you, Heather. And so let's take all the energy on this call right now. Thank you, Denise, for sharing. I greatly, greatly appreciate it, because somebody's life is going to be changed if we just plant a seed. So let's take all this energy on this call. Let's go in first and love on ourselves. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. If you don't, whatever. Just smile and love on every one of your cells. And then imagine that your heart is just opening up and it's just going out to everybody around the planet. No matter what they need, it's positively affecting them. Because guess what? It already is. Hey, Jane, thank you for tuning in. So yeah, so let's just tune into our heart, and I'll give a little bit of this flute to you guys. Hopefully you'll be able to hear. So here we go. Deep breath and smile. And just imagine you're just beaming your magnet out, and it's just shifting the whole paradigm, because it is. Just feel it with all your might, and remember to smile. See it going out to the entire globe. We're shifting the whole thing right now. And every time you do this, I love it. I just love feeling that we're doing this, and we're doing it. And so again, thank you, everybody. Have an incredible rest of your day or evening. I know people in the US, where I'm from, it's nighttime there. I'm in the future. So it's Tuesday morning here, 10:17 a.m. in Thailand. But thank you to everybody. And if you have any questions or anything, or you're interested in, going on the journey, reach out, and just track your frequency. Remember, you're a magnet. If you got to write a little sticky and put it up wherever you live, I am a magnet. Where is my frequency right now? And it changes everything. So much love and gratitude. And yeah, see you next time.